Holy shit, it is like fucking February or March or whenever I'm getting this out. Here. I need to record a fucking video, Jesus Christ. Oh shit, my script is in. Hey guys, so back in late August to early September, I was lying restless in my bed one night. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Pretty far past those hours where I should really be taking anything I have to think about seriously. But I just couldn't help myself. What could I, a 19-year-old who's barely left the state he grew up in, do to make myself feel less stuck in my current life position? And after some pondering, I realized the obvious solution. It was staring at me, almost directly in the face. I'm gonna pack my shit and go to college. After making sure this wasn't going to completely financially sink me, I started planning. For travel, I went with Amtrak for 3 different reasons. There's a station near me, train tickets are way cheaper than airline tickets, and also, I've never ridden a train before. I couldn't just rent a hotel room either because the US has the stupid fucking rule where you have to be 21 years old to do so. So I turned to Verbo, found a fairly cheap place, and boom, we're all set. And after these 2 purchases, I've only spent $609. Holy shit, I now had to do this. Flash forward to the week before the trip, I was checking over my things like an anxious little bitch when I came to a screeching halt upon realizing a pretty big uh-oh. See, I'd planned for a 7-day trip. I was gonna leave on that Sunday, get there on Monday, head back on that Friday, and get back on Saturday. Lo and behold, upon checking, I saw that my train was actually getting back on that next Sunday. Which isn't awful if you don't consider the fact that my reservation is only good until that Friday, leaving me on the streets for an entire extra night. I'm gonna level with you, my options were pretty rough at this point. It was either be stubbornly inconvenient and book a far pricier room for that 1 extra night, or I could just look like a fool and ask the hostess that I'm reserving the room from if she'd be willing to let me stay an extra night. And my pride was not about to let me look like a goddamn... Alright, we're good. She let me stay an extra night. I didn't sleep for more than 20 or 30 minutes the night before leaving because my veins were full of adrenaline. The realization that I was about to force myself out of my comfort zone to like a whole new extreme both terrified and excited me. There was a lot of confused laughter that morning. Regardless, from there, I said goodbye to my family, hopped in my car, and got my happy ass to the train station. Okay, I've rewritten this part like 12 fucking times, and I can't figure out how to best word it, so I'm just gonna go through it really quickly with some Subway Surfer behind me. When I arrived, it was barren. I met this super nice older lady. Her name was Cheryl. We talked at the station until the train finally arrived. From there, we were sat down next to each other. There. Whoa. Have I mentioned I bought a green screen? After a while, I decided it was high time for me to do some exploring, so I shimmied out of my seat. I'm sorry for the voice. I walked up the stairs and started walking through Coach. Apparently, it is impossible to walk through Coach without looking like you just downed like 5 Bud Lights. Like, okay, look at this shit. I didn't get a video because that would be weird, but this is how I and everyone else walking down those aisles looked. The trek was worth it though because I found the sightseeing car. And don't get me wrong, it isn't like mountains or anything, but it was so fucking gorgeous and I was so happy, dude. Like, I enjoyed being here so much, I actually stayed in the sightseeing car until I reached where I would be laid over for the next 5 hours. After saying goodbye to Cheryl, I got my things and arrived at the exciting town of Galesburg, Illinois. What was that? You've never heard of this town before? Yeah, neither has anybody else. From there, I checked my bags into the station, did some exploring, got a chai tea latte from the local coffee shop, ate some food, was bored out of my mind for a few hours, when finally, the next train picked me up. I had 16 more hours to go, okay? And when I tell you that it dragged, I mean it dragged, guys. After chilling in the sightseeing car and accidentally finishing Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare on my Switch, I tried to get some shut-eye. No matter how hard I tried, I kept waking up. Once in Omaha, once in Lincoln, and once in the middle of Nebraska still. The 4th time I woke up though, I could tell something was different. I checked my phone and sure enough, I made it to Union Station. Here's a bad picture. Look how happy I am to be off that train. Shortly after, I took my first ever Uber to my Verbo home. Now, I'm not a very trusting individual, so I inspected the place, checking for both types of bugs, and found nothing. That is, until I went to the bathroom. Alright, and I saw this, and I thought, alright, surely this isn't what I think it is, right? So, I chilled out, got online, I looked up the brand, and I found cameras. Holy shit, it's an actual camera. After doing more looking, I discovered that this company makes both cameras and night lights. Sketchy as fuck, but I mean, if these people now have a picture of my bare ass, I guess I don't care that much. Regardless, I was happy to just finally be able to lay in a bed. After my first shower in 27 hours, it was time for some breakfast. There's a famous breakfast place in Denver called Hashtag, and their motto is home of a boozy breakfast, aka an excuse for divorced dads to drink at 11 in the morning. And in all honesty, it was really just okay. Pretty overhyped, unfortunately. I had half of a big pancake. Here's a picture of it if I can find one. And after a carb-filled breakfast, I decided it was time to hike some of those calories off. So I hopped in a Lyft and headed to a supposedly gorgeous trailhead at the local wildlife refuge. After about 5 minutes into the drive, we reached an obstacle. There was a gate stopping us from getting in. It had a big metal keypad and was very locked. The Lyft driver asked me if I was staff, and obviously I said, no, I'm just here to hike. I could see he was stressing out too, so I was like, hey man, it's really no big deal. You can drop me off at a second destination. So of course, after hearing me say that, he calmly saw that a truck had pulled in behind us and typed in their keypad information to get themselves into work, and fucking floored it. The entire 9 minutes after that, the only thought going through my head was, man, there is no way we're supposed to be here right now. Regardless, I got to the trailhead, anxiously hiked, got some gorgeous pictures. Learned that my microphone was out of batteries. Look how dumb I look. Hey buddy, you buy expensive stuff and don't know how to use them. After a call and some questioning if I'd have to hike back to civilization, my Lyft driver found a different route, picked me up, and got me back to home base. The rest of the night was pretty easy actually. I chilled out, went to In-N-Out Burger, got a double-double and some animal style fries. Look how good this was. Shopped at Trader Joe's and finally got a good night's sleep. Man, I'm realizing when I'm like holding the mic like this and I'm in front of this green screen, I'm like all loosey-goosey about it for some reason. Just, damn, just, woo. Next day. Today was downtown day. I was psyched to do a lot of walking, so I styled myself up and got myself to the aquarium. Guys, I've never been to an aquarium before, so let me just say, this is one of the prettiest fucking places I have ever been to in my life. Holy shit. I took so many pictures and videos that if I'm smart, I'm currently displaying them on screen while I'm saying this sentence. Look at the bottom of this stingray. Look at these jellyfish. I was surprisingly happy to be here. And even like right now, like the smile, all that, it's not a bit, it's not like fake excitement for the camera. I'm like genuinely, I fucking loved being there, guys. It was great. I see why people take edibles before going here. I had no direct path or plan after the aquarium. I just knew I wanted to walk east, so I started walking, let the universe guide me, and just see where it takes me from there. I ended up walking over a river, seeing a really pretty park, actually checking out Union Station, visited a bunch of gift shops, got a really good chai from another place that I can't remember, and finally arrived to the Museum of Illusions. I wasn't originally gonna go, but I changed my mind since it was like so close. And I gotta say, this place is really cool if you're not a loser walking around the city by yourself. Even then though, like I did find some cool stuff for just me. Look at this, I look like I'm in a horror sequence. There's like millions of me. Ooh, also, I'm blurring their face in case they don't want to be online. But this employee absolutely made my entire day. Possibly even my trip. They saw me checking out this illusion by myself, explained how it worked, actually posed in there with me, and even offered to have their other employee take pictures of us. If miraculously someday you're watching this video, I want you to know that I really appreciated that little bit of humanity. You're the best and you deserve a raise. Moving on. So on the lawn of the freaking state capitol, didn't know Denver was that, they had this like cute little holiday market. I don't know if I got many pictures of it. Man, I really hope I did. And there I also spent $60 on honey, and I refuse to elaborate further on that. And that lands me at the art museum, one of the last places that I went to. Everyone stop what you're doing. take a look at how cool this building looks. Like, that shit is fucking awesome. Oh my god. I didn't have my phone out too much, and I didn't take a lot of pictures because I really just wanted to enjoy myself. I didn't want to think about content the entire time, you know? Regardless, here's some of the ones I did take. Here's a chair I really want. Here's the Fantastic Four, and here's me eating Trader Joe's mac and cheese with Trader Joe's ketchup seasoning on it. Red Rocks Park and Amphitheater is a famous venue and state park that was founded in 1941. It has a lot of gorgeous scenery and a really rich musical history to go right alongside with it. And I first heard of it when Cartman Kinney sang here. Jokes aside, I have always dreamed of just being in the mountains in general, much less hiking in them. I failed to mention it on day 2, but like when I first arrived in Denver, I teared up. That's how much I loved it. See, I grew up around flat cornfields, so to wake up on that train and just to have that view right there was absolutely breathtaking. I explored the amphitheater, and after I got my fair share of views, I decided it was time to do a little bit of hiking. And if you ever want to be humbled, be a chubby 20-year-old like me, train the bare minimum, and then go hiking at an unfamiliar location at an increasingly steep incline. Pardon me, I'm just literally holding Rocky Mountain snow. Like, that's not the coolest thing in the world. It was becoming apparent that I wasn't going to be able to hike as far as I had hoped, but I saw that the trail was going to go up to like a really gorgeous viewpoint, and I was sure it was going to be worth it. I powered through it, destroyed my leg muscles in the process, and got myself up there. Okay, and I already know the pictures and videos are not going to do it justice, but dude, you could see for miles. It was gorgeous. Like, literally, it was the most gorgeous view I had ever seen in my entire life. And I'm using the word gorgeous a lot, but that's just the main one. As I said in the beginning of this video, I have felt stuck for so long. This channel is even like a method to cope with that. But I was fucking here, guys, doing shit that I never thought I would do. Shit that would make me from 5 years ago, or even like the beginning of last year, have a panic attack. That's crazy. After calming from my excitement, I declined back down the trail, got some more pictures at this gift shop place, and headed off to Cherry Creek Mall. Cherry Creek Mall, if I had like a scale of malls, it's just eh. I will say though, I got some pizza and a frijoles, I think it's what it's called. Editor Dylan, throw it up behind me. Throw up the glass bottle. I got the orange one. It wasn't that good. But then I checked out the Cherry Creek light display, and I don't know if I got any pictures of that, but man, it was so pretty. I love light displays, guys. Oh yeah, I also got a pumpkin spice chai with brown sugar, cold foam, and coconut milk from Starbucks. Editor Dylan, go ahead and add that to the chai counter. Look at this. Boom. Look at that. Boom. Well, editing skills. Woo. Don't hire me. From there, I wrapped up and went to home base. I also want to mention this Uber driver that I had. He was just the nicest guy, okay? He grew up in Guam. He was in the military. And genuinely, he was just the nicest driver I had while I was there. I think his name was Jamil, and I'm not positive about that, so apologies if I'm wrong. But regardless, I hope he's well. It was super nice meeting him. I can already tell that this video was going to be long because when I was writing the script, I was only on page 6.5 and only at day 4. So I'm going to try and speed things up a little bit. Denver Botanic Gardens. Here's a bunch of dead plants. It was December. What the hell did I expect? Admittedly, there were some cool spots, but overall, very underwhelming. My legs were killing me, but I was way too stubborn to take a lift, so I walked up to the Denver Biscuit Company. On the way there, I found a really cool record store and bookshop. I also very nearly bought the Guts exclusive vinyl by Olivia Rodrigo, but I decided, you know what, I'm spending so much, I don't need to be spending more on this, and also, there wouldn't have been enough space for me to get it back home. Upon arriving to the Denver Biscuit Company, I got biscuits and gravy, kind of felt like I had to, and man, I really wanted to like it, but I just didn't enjoy it that much, unfortunately. It was too fancy. Of course, keep in mind, I'm the guy who enjoys the biscuits and gravy from like a local gas station, so you know, like don't take my taste buds too seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm a very simple man. Right about now was when I really started to notice the pain in my lower back and legs. The realization struck me that when I was hiking yesterday, I'd probably like pulled something, It was a pretty steep incline. All good though, I've never been to Denver before and I wanted to just power right on through it. So I chose not to rest, I didn't take a lift, and I went to the zoo. Unfortunately, the zoo was a bit of a letdown. Giraffes were pretty though, I like giraffes, and the elephant refused to look at me. I was shunned, unworthy of its gaze. Its avoidance pierced me like a blade to my soul. Anyways, after that, I had one more thing to do. Meow Wolf. I don't know if you've ever heard of Meow Wolf, but they're known for their like insane interactive art exhibits. They're really cool. Have you ever heard of like Omega Mart out of Las Vegas? That was them. They have an exhibit in Denver called Convergence Station, which is basically like a train stop to 3 different worlds other than our own. You have to use a key card to unlock a hidden story and scan like a bunch of these little things that are on the walls. And then yet again, unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of pictures. If I can get it up, here's a video of me trying to scan to this little blob thing on the wall, and it just kept screaming at me. I also definitely left without the whole story, and I absolutely realized that, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. Also, look at this tote bag I got. It might be flipped, but it's cool. I like it. I like tote bags. Anyways. Guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I needed to take a day to chill out. I was hurting a lot from all the walking, so I took a rest day. Mostly. I recorded my previous upload and took a walk to another local coffee shop where I got a not chai, it was a mile high twist, get fucked chai counter. It was a mile high twist and it was really good. Pull up the ingredients, the website, whatever, here it is. Otherwise, I really just got most of my packing done and I chilled out. I knew that the next day I was gonna have to check out at 11 a.m. and just kill time until 6 p.m. when my train would leave. So until then, I rest. I scrambled to make sure I had absolutely everything, and I left home base for the last time. I got my bags checked in the Union Station, thanked my Verbo host profusely, and it was lunchtime. Days before on my walk, I had seen a restaurant called Sliceworks that proudly announced they were on the Food Network, and I thought, I'm gonna try that. I had a really good slice of pizza with some tiramisu on the side and moved on. From there, I had 6 more hours to kill. I visited the Denver pavilions, got a snow globe, found a really cool Target with an escalator. I am a simple man, and went to the History Colorado Center. It was about now that it set in that I was almost done. I was gonna have to say goodbye to the city, that gorgeous mountain view, and ground myself back to reality. So after walking to Union Station, I got myself some supper, had to wait for another hour or so, but then I finally got on the train and headed back home. From here, my story finally starts to wind down. I sat in the sightseeing car, did some reading, this book right here, I really enjoyed it, got back to my seat, and actually got some good sleep that night. One more day. I woke up and we were actually almost to Galesburg. Apparently last night we stopped in Omaha and the conductor kicked somebody off for trying to start a fight in the sightseeing car, which evidently isn't a great place to start those. When we arrived though, I walked around town yet again because I was not about to sit there and do nothing for 6 hours. Immediately after making that statement, I realized that I was limping. I did limp, around for a good hour and a half, but I needed to sit down, unfortunately. So I went back to the station. Thankfully, I had acquired the HBO Max password, so I at least watched like some Doctor Who. Matt Smith, the best one, of course. And finally, after what felt like years of waiting, the train arrived at 6 o'clock. So I got myself situated, passed the time with more reading, really felt that Polar Express energy. It was December 24th, and arrived back at the place where my entire vacation started. Okay, well, a little bit farther into the vacation start, Back to the station. When I tell y'all that I miss driving my car, I mean I missed driving my car so much. On my drive home, I had time to collect my thoughts, and oddly, I felt super content. As I said earlier, traveling far was always something that I felt was impossible for me to do. See, right out the gate, 2023 was just an awful year. And for the first few months, it only got worse. I was not the man I wanted to be, and I felt that. I felt alone. My mental health was at the lowest low it had ever been. And one day something changed. I got tired of doing nothing. I got tired of sitting in my room and wasting my life. So I started doing things. I kept myself busy, small things at first. Like I started learning the ukulele, but then I started therapy. I auditioned for a play and I quit my job and started somewhere new. I lost friends where it was fair and necessary. I learned to become independent because of it. And I made new ones. I started planning for college and that son of a bitch is fighting me every step of the way, but I'm gonna go, guys. Hell, I started doing this with the camera and the computer and the microphone and the editing, and I'm not putting pressure on it, and it's a hobby and it's fun and I love doing it. See, 2023 was just a shit year, okay? But it was the kick in the ass that I needed. I am the most mentally healthy I have ever been, and I feel everything. Which is crazy to me because I didn't even realize that that was a problem that I had had for so long. And see, I'm still flawed, so is everybody else, but like, I got myself on the right path. The reason I'm telling you this is because Denver was the first time that I really had this entire epiphany. It was so ironic to think that after such a garbage year, one of the worst years of my life, that I ended up at one of the best places of my life. It was the perfect way to end such a garbage year. I'm excited to see where my life is heading, and I'm sorry for sounding like a fortune cookie at the end of this video. I really wanted to be able to get all that off my chest. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to make, I'm sure. I'm still just filming it. I know I'm gonna have fun editing though. It's gonna be a fucking heyday to edit. If you liked what you saw today, please like, subscribe. It really would help me out a lot. From there, I hope you all have yourselves a good one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.